If you're serious about history, survival, or just understanding how soldiers endured the harshest winters in the Second World War, you're in the right place. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button, because here on Iron Age Instincts, we break down historical survival tactics in a way you won't find anywhere else. Today, we're going to explore something every soldier and every winter survivalist needs to know. How Second World War soldiers slept on frozen ground and managed to survive freezing nights with almost nothing. The tricks they used weren't just clever, they were life-saving. By the end of this guide, you'll not only understand the methods, but also how to apply them in modern cold-weather camping, hiking, or prepping scenarios. Understand that the ground itself can be your enemy and your ally. Sleeping on frozen earth isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. Second World War soldiers quickly learned that the cold radiating from the ground could sap body heat faster than the cold air above. The first key hack is insulating yourself from that frozen earth. Soldiers used whatever materials they could find: pine boughs, straw, even discarded newspapers. In practice, this meant layering natural materials between themselves and the ground. Modern application? If you're out in the cold, gather leaves, pine needles, or even your backpack contents to create a barrier. Laying a thick, uneven layer under your sleeping area can reduce heat loss dramatically. This is not about luxury, it's about survival. Even 2 or 3 inches of insulation can be the difference between a shivering night and a stable sleep. Second World War soldiers quickly discovered that maintaining core body temperature was far more important than a soft mattress. One common approach was the use of the hot water bottle method, though they didn't have modern bottles. They would heat stones in a fire and wrap them in cloth to place near the torso or between the feet. The principle is simple. Keep your core warm, and your body will naturally protect extremities. You can replicate this by heating stones or water bottles before bed. Always wrap them in thick cloth. Direct contact can cause burns. Place them strategically under your torso or at your feet to maintain core warmth through the night. Soldiers also learn to sleep curled or in a fetal position, reducing exposed surface area and retaining heat. Another crucial Second World War sleeping tactic was the art of layering. Soldiers didn't rely on a single coat or blanket. They layered clothing, scarves, and whatever was available to trap air and insulate against heat loss. Wool was a favourite because it retained warmth even when damp. The key takeaway for modern survivalists is understanding how layering works. Start with a moisture-wicking base to prevent sweat from cooling you, add insulating layers, and top it off with windproof or water-resistant material if available. Even if your outer layer isn't fancy, blocking wind and trapping micro-layers of warm air can dramatically improve your nighttime survival odds. A frozen field offers no mercy, but World War II soldiers turned the landscape into their ally whenever possible. Digging shallow trenches or building snow or earth windbreaks gave them some protection from the cold and biting winds. They would even use debris or fallen branches to construct small shelters, partially covering themselves to reduce exposure. Practically speaking, even if you're not in wartime, you can apply this technique by using natural windbreaks or building small shelters out of branches and leaves. The principle is simple. Reduce exposure to wind and trap whatever heat you generate. This approach is especially valuable in open fields or when camping in winter. A simple low wall of packed snow or piled leaves can radically change how cold your night feels. Perhaps the most overlooked World War II survival hack was psychological. Soldiers trained themselves to sleep despite discomfort and fear. They used routines, adjusting their clothing, arranging insulation, and sometimes sharing body heat with fellow soldiers when alone. Modern survivalists can benefit by establishing a pre-sleep routine that tells the body it's time to rest. This could be as simple as rearranging your sleeping area, performing light exercises to warm up, or meditating to calm the mind. Soldiers didn't just survive physically. They conditioned themselves mentally to accept hardship, which significantly improved rest quality. These 5 sleeping hacks aren't just historical curiosities. They are practical, proven methods for surviving nights on frozen ground. From insulating yourself from the cold earth, strategically layering clothing, using heated stones, building micro-shelters, to conditioning your mind, each method can be adapted today for winter camping, hiking, or prepping. Remember, these tactics were the difference between life and death for soldiers facing sub-zero conditions, and they remain relevant in any extreme survival scenario. If you found this guide valuable, hit that subscribe button, share it with fellow history buffs, and let's continue uncovering the practical side of history together. Iron Age Instincts isn't just about stories. It's about learning and applying ancient and historical survival wisdom in the modern world.